Well, it looks like Erik ten Hag is set to get his man that he made a priority signing last summer and he never got him. That is Frankie De Jong. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys and where you watching us from? This is the Manchester United news show. Combination of very many things. Transfer news in there for you. Talking about the game of West Ham and how VAR is really abysmal. I'm going to start with that rant onto this video. Then a little bit of Erik ten Hag talking about the quadruple, talking how he's trying to change Maguire into a central defender. He feels like he should be at the club of Manchester United, and many more here onto this channel. Rock and David is my name. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner, that's the place to be. And smash the black button. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. Today, I'm going to start with the rant. Where is VAR? Guys, look. We are all complaining about Casemiro not trying to really do the needful and close down the player of West Ham. I think it was Shushek, because he raised his hand and said the ball is really out. And obviously, look at the photo. That goal we conceded at the beginning of the second half, the goal was out as you see it. It was out, but VAR never took its mantle to see to it that they get the best judgment out of this, because the ball was out and they let the play to flow and we conceded. VAR has been exposed again. It's abysmal. It would have costed us the game of football, but thank God Old Trafford is a fortress and we couldn't allow any blip or slip up, and we just had to hold ourselves into a position of really winning this beautiful game of football of United versus West Ham. But the ball was outside, as you see that. That's how we conceded the first goal, and it shows you how David De Gea missed out on really keeping another clean sheet. That would have taken his clean sheet to 182. So it shows you how ugly VAR is, and it's costing teams. And you ask yourself, why is it that a team invests close to £20 million in VAR and it gets such officiations? You know, this is seen by a very, 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 even a blind person can see. Look at this. And you are seated there in the VAR room and you give such a goal to West Ham, getting a goal from an offside position, and you don't get sacked. The person or the officiator in the VAR room for this game is supposed to be sacked like Lee Mason. He should part ways with a PGMLO. He should part ways immediately, because this is a knockout tournament, and you just have to get to know that we have to be better and act better. So we should be acting better, not as we're acting right now as VAR. I think you've seen it all, and VAR has been exposed again on that first goal we considered against West Ham. Now, yesterday, I had in plan to do this story, but I thought I was going to do it this morning. But thank God, another story came on through, adding more beef to this story. And I said, all right, I'm going to combine these two stories about Frankie De Jong. Frankie De Jong. Now, we are having a story. We had a story coming in from TalkSport, that is Alex Crook, confirming to us that Ten Hag has made Frankie De Jong one of Manchester United's top summer targets. Ten Hag hopes the Old Trafford feel good factor as United beat Barcelona will help him persuade Frankie De Jong to join Manchester United. Then he said the prospect of partnering Casemiro in the midfield is said to be an attractive proposition for Frankie De Jong, and he might find himself at Old Trafford. Now, for this, we all know it's not news that Erik ten Hag wants Frankie De Jong. He wanted and chased for him for the entire summer. That's why United went in for Casemiro, after understanding that the deal of Frankie De Jong is not going to come to materialization. You get? There is misleading information that doesn't connect. Barcelona is saying the player wanted to stay. Erik ten Hag said he talked with Frankie De Jong. Frankie De Jong gave him green light. That's why he told the club that don't sign any player before you bring Frenkie De Jong here. He had identified the midfield situation, that it was the big problem at Manchester United, and he had really put in what we call a request to get Frenkie De Jong in, but lots of information is not really adding up. Samuel Lucas of Manchester United, correspondent of Manchester United, a fly on the wall at Carrington, tells us Manchester United had gotten green light from Frenkie De Jong, and Frankie de Jong had told Erik ten Hag, I want to come. Barcelona indicate the player told Erik ten Hag, I'm not coming to Manchester United. Then, if that was the case, then why did John Mata and Richard Arnold travel to Barcelona to agree a deal with Barcelona? So, when I add all this up with this story of Alex Crook that Ten Hag is interested in signing Frankie De Jong, it all boils to one. Ten Hag knows Frankie De Jong wants to come to Manchester United. That's it. That's it. Because Ten Hag, principled as he is, he can't keep pushing for a player to come to Manchester United when the player doesn't want to come. That's out. There is no manager who does that. I talked to you once. If things fail in that transfer window, I move on to the other player. You get? It's not a scenario that United failed to agree deal with Barcelona. United agreed a deal of 85 million euros. That's it, to sign Frenkie De Jong. That means a team to agree a deal with the other team on a player, the player must have given green light and accepted that I'm going to join. And remember, the agent of Frenkie De Jong is the same agent with Tyrell Malacia and Lindelof. So everything was done, but the problem was Frankie De Jong demands Barcelona close to 17 million euros, and Barcelona was not willing to pay that money to Frenkie De Jong. Now, there is a boost of all this. Having seen this story yesterday, Ten Hag is a blessed man. When I tell you that this guy is a blessed man, don't even feel hesitant. Look at this. Mail Sport today has told us that Barcelona have been banned from signing players this summer, according to La Liga president Javier Tebas. Barcelona must raise 178 million pounds, but can only spend 71 on signing. They thought to be in dates of tune around 1 billion pound as they even pulled levers to buy players. So the situation at Barcelona is really alarming. They need to sell players. They need to raise money from sale of players to survive. This is a boost to Manchester United and Erik ten Hag. When you combine the two factors, that we went to Camp Nou and beat them, to me, I think we beat them because we are not having Sabitzer, Lisandro Martinez, Anton Martial, Anthony, which other player? We are lacking close to 6 players. And we went there and gave them a game. So, after giving them a game, 100% believe at all we are having some players back, we are going to get a result of 3 points at at Camp Nou. You get? So, if they came to Old Trafford, we beat them. Now, Frankie De Jong just has to understand that football has shifted and needs to be playing in the best league in the world. He's one of the best midfielders in the world, and for him to be accepted as one of those, and for him to be accepted by the world as one of the best world-class central midfielders, he needs to be playing in a team that is playing in a league that is the best. With the problems at Barcelona, no reinforcements, there is no chance that Frenkie De Jong is going to find himself prosperous in the Champions League and so on and so forth, because they are into a bad situation. When you look at Barcelona, they want to send more players, but they need to sell. And one of those players, one of the most valuable players they're really having, is Frenkie De Jong. They can get close to 80 million pounds out of him. Now, if at all they get 80 million pounds from Frenkie De Jong, that means they are left with 90 million pounds. Now, if they sell Ansu Fati also at like 50, 60 million pounds, they would have left with a deficit of just 30 million pounds. So 30 million pounds, there are some players they can mitigate. They can sell. They can collect that 30 million pounds and they can spend 71. On 71 million pounds, they need a CDM. I think they can get Zubimendi at that amount of money and obviously promote other players from the academy. That's what Xavi is going to be supposed to be doing, because they're supposed to sell. But Frenkie De Jong happens to be one of those players. They're supposed to sell immediately to go in and raise in funds. So it works well. It works well for Manchester United because no team is going to rival them. Even if it's City, the money is going to be available to buy a midfielder. Then Frenkie De Jong cannot turn away Erik ten Hag, because Ten Hag is obsessed with signing this man. He loves him a lot and he needs him a lot. And this is where I conclude this story at this point. I 100% disagree that United's priority signing is a striker. That's out. Let me show you something. How we look when you're not having Casemiro. This is how we look when you're not having Casemiro. And I'm so much perturbed. I was so much perturbed when I heard that United is really looking in for a striker for 100 million pounds when we are really having a very huge gap when Casemiro doesn't play. There is something here. Casemiro, where are you? There is something I've seen here. When Casemiro is playing and not when he's playing. He has played 34 games for United and our winning percentage is at 72% winning percentage. When he's out, our winning percentage is at 34. What does that insinuate or drive into your mind? That we need a player who is not like Casemiro, but when Casemiro is away, he can come in and really play that role very, very well. That's why I was so much surprised when stories were coming out that Ten Hag is prioritizing a striker. I said, that is a lie. To me, I said it's a lie because a midfielder is what we want. And we've been speaking the same language with Erik ten Hag. Every player we've been hinting about, Ten Hag has been bringing that player. And I think for now, he has identified that without Casemiro, we are really a team that's not going to prosper. That is it. So as it stands, this guy is one of those that Ten Hag might bring in. And the person you're supposed to be bringing in should be able to be playing 2 or 3 positions. Primarily, CDM and a double pivot. Central attack midfielder is what we call a plus. Frankie De Jong fits that profile. Caicedo fits that profile. Zubimendi fits that profile. So if we can go in for such players, I believe we can find ourselves in a situation of convincing ourselves that we are having a CDM that can do the job when Casemiro is really away. And this guy is really a revelation. And let me show you how he really played yesterday. This is his game by numbers when they are playing or knocking out Real Madrid. Sorry, when they're winning the first leg of the Copa del Rey. And he played 90 minutes, 90% accuracy. Passing accuracy was 90%. 56 touches completed, 2 out of 2 duels completed, 2 out of 3 accurate long balls, 3 out of 3 tackles won, 3 recoveries, 3 interceptions, 7 out of 10 grand duels won. That is Frankie De Jong for you. That's why Ten Hag needs this boy. He needs him because he knows he's one of those that is going to go ahead and really have a very huge future with at Manchester United. Now, Erik ten Hag has gone ahead and really sorry about that. He has finally spoken out on the quadruple. He says, we are not talking about the quadruple. We are talking about the next game, an exciting game. It's for the dreamers, for the fans, for the players. The players have experience and don't let people get distracted. You can dream, but not us. Now, Ten Hag is saying the next important thing is the next game. We've knocked out West Ham. Now we are focusing on Liverpool. That's the Premier League. Next Thursday, it's going to be the UEFA Europa League. So, talking of the quadruple will be making sense if at all we are like 2 points behind Arsenal, 4-5 games to go. In the semi-finals of the UEFA Europa League, in the finals of the FA Cup, it will be making sense. But without that, let's not talk about the quadruple. Let's talk about the next exciting game, and that is of Liverpool. And later is going to be coming in through to do what we call the match press, the pre-match press conference. Jurgen Klopp has done his, and I'm going to get out certain things and then come up and discuss up them with you. Then on Harry Maguire, adjusting to the right, he said, we do it with training to give coaching and instructions, but also not that long ago. I showed him a video of how he can move, of how he can have more impact in possession in building up with his skills, because he's highly skilled. That is Erik ten Hag. But for me, I'm always fed up when I see the English media asking about Harry Maguire. This guy is nowhere near the levels of playing at Manchester United. And I'm praying hard that Ten Hag signs in a central defender. Maguire has to find himself out of this club. You get? He has lifted a trophy for the club. He was not the captain of the club on the pitch. It was another person doing the job. So he deserves to find himself out of this club. That is Harry Maguire. He needs to find himself out. Let him do justice to himself and leave this club of Manchester. Because you can't be at the club when you see that you're not a perfect fit. He's like a fifth choice in central defense. The central defenders, he's the fifth choice. Varane, Lisandro Martinez, Luke Shaw, Lindelof, Harry Maguire. Fifth fiddle. And you claim to be the captain of the club. Chance might catch him this time round. He might win the FA again. He might win the UEFA Europa League. And I think that will be the best way to say goodbye and farewell to Manchester United. You've lifted 3 trophies. Arguably, you are not the captain of the team because it's Bruno Fernandes that is captaining this team, and you deserve not to be even one of those lifting the trophy. That's why when you're lifting up the Carabao Cup, he lifted it together with Bruno Fernandes, because Bruno was the captain of the team on the pitch and Harry Maguire is the captain of pitch. So, your thoughts on Ten Hag set to get Frankie De Jong a World Cup in the comment section below. What are your thoughts about the ban of Barcelona? Will they succumb to pressure and really sell Frenkie De Jong because a deal is already agreed with Manchester United? 85 million euros is the fee that was agreed last summer, and Madrid need to sell players to get in money to buy, because they've been banned and they are not allowed to pull levers as they did last time. Rokan David is my name. I sign out for now. See you later. Returning with a press conference of Erik ten Hag addressing us about the latest news and information of players as we prepare for the game of Liverpool. May the Almighty God bless you abundantly. I sign out for now. See you later. Bye-bye.